EFF Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema is facing widespread criticism for his utterances against white people over land grab. Malema went a step further in a hate rant at Newcastle yesterday, where he said that he wants to disturb the peace of the white people. This came right after the case against Malema was postponed in the Magistrates' Court. Malema faces charges of contravening the Righteous Assemblies Act after he allegedly told his supporters to grab and occupy land.
Men will be served by me. I do not serve white masters. I will never serve white masters. I'm here to disturb a white man's peace. They are right. The white man has been too comfortable for too long. We are here unashamedly to disturb the white man's peace. For the slaughtering of white people, at least for now. What we are calling for is for peaceful occupation of the land. And we don't owe anyone apology about that.
Malema did not stop there, inciting and calling upon his members and the gathering at Newcastle. Malema vowed that he will continue with his Occupy Land call and that nothing can deter him from doing so. Launching an attack, Malema claimed that white South Africans cannot own more land than the black South Africans.
This battle of the land is in the hands of the EFF. We will fight for it. No amount of intimidation will silence us. No amount of prison will silence us. Not even torture, not even anything can tell us to keep quiet about the land. We will not chase white people to the sea. We will give them potion. Piece by piece. That's where you stay. And you can't own bigger than us. You are a visitor. Visitors must behave. They must know that the land belongs to the people of South Africa, the indigenous people of South Africa.
The FF Plus too has condemned Malema's comments. FF Plus chairman Peter Groenewald said that the comments are racial hatred and have a potential to create civil war in the country.
Correctly, that I said we're laying a charge at the Ethics Committee at Parliament against Julius Malema, and the reason is quite simple. When Julius Malema became a member of Parliament, he took an oath that he will uphold the Constitution and all the other laws of the country. So that is an undertaking he took. So by inciting people to occupy land unlawfully, he is actually breaking the law. He is inciting violence and inciting racism in South Africa because he focuses on the white people, saying that they have the land. And therefore, we say it is a contravention of the ethics code of Parliament, and that is why we lay the charge.
The Democratic Alliance says there is no place for Malema's violent and threatening language in a constitutional democracy.
We are specifically strongly condemning the comments he made today where he said we are not calling for the slaughter of white people for now. We find this language to not only be violent and threatening, but we find it to be quite in violation of the democratic principles espoused in our constitution. We should be, as South Africans, focused on building a non-racial, non-sexist South Africa, as is required by our constitutional democracy and as values espoused by Nelson Mandela in 1994. The DA does believe that land reform in South Africa needs to be sped up. However, we believe that it must be done in terms of the imperatives set out in the Constitution, specifically Section 26 of the Constitution. We call on Mr. Malema to withdraw his violence and threatening comments and apologize.
It is not determined by the factual correctness of their statements. It's not determined by how much they are based on reality. It's more, your success is more based on how populist you can be and how you can make emotional statements that will excite people regardless of whether those statements are accurate regardless of whether your proposed solutions will actually solve anything. And this is typically what we saw yesterday. I think Malema was trying to win votes by attacking white people and by making all these aggressive statements about land reform.